What do you think, y'all? Let's hop on that boardwalk and take a little garden tour. Welcome to Ray Ray's garden, y'all. It's early July and this garden is in full swing. I can't wait to show you what we got going on out there. It's been an incredible spring and early summer. So much has gone right. In fact, let's get out there and let me show you what we got going on. Before we get too far, I do have a really nice basil plant here on the deck. As you can see, Lola loves the camera. And these jalapenos up here. This is my first time ever doing marigolds from seed, and I gotta say, guys, this is the way to do it. These are multiple colors. I have no idea what they're all gonna look like, but I can't wait to see. They have absolutely taken over this pepper box though, and I gotta say, I don't think I'm really gonna grow peppers on the deck anymore. These little boxes just can't support it, especially when I got the big garden right next door. But let's take a little cruise on the boardwalk, y'all. This is the only thing that's really left from the spring stuff. 2 little measly lettuce plants and some stuff that went to seed. But we ate a lot out of this box. I was pretty pleased with it. Wasn't sure how it was really gonna work, but this thing gets a lot of sun, so as soon as it gets hot, things definitely died off. Let's keep going, y'all. This is one of my biggest production boxes for potatoes. Man, sometimes I get 80 to 100 pounds out of this thing. It is amazing, guys. These plants are doing really, really well. They've already flowered once and some of them even twice. I think they're starting to die off, which is good. Last year, I really didn't even harvest this box until into October, so we'll see how it goes this year. But I look forward to this being a fall harvest, which means I can stretch those things into the winter. Let's keep going, y'all. There's not a whole lot over here other than this tree, but let's take a look at this garlic, guys. Holy cow, guys. I am absolutely impressed with the garlic this year. This particular little bed, I have a feeling it gets the best of everything. The best sun, all the nutrients are leached out of that bed behind it, and that's totally fine by me. And as you can see, guys, the tomatillos are taking over that corner, and the tomatoes in this little 8-foot section, they're doing really well too. Let's keep going, y'all, and let's take a look at the zucchini and squash. This zucchini plant, I planted a little bit late this year, but it's doing just fine. Matter of fact, we got some fruit sitting on the ground right there. There's probably 3 or 4 babies on that thing. The acorn squash is on fire. I put up this little trellis thing here to keep Lola from squashing the plants as she ran on the boardwalk. And look, this thing is filling in that trellis. It's actually making its way around the side and growing into that trellis, which I'm training it to do that. This little shoot just popped up the other day here. This thing's on fire. Let's go in the big garden, y'all. The beautiful green on that arbor, y'all, that is hardy kiwi. I believe it's 3 females and a male plant, and it has just thrived over here. It's got the right amount of sun, the soil is perfect for it, and it just loves it over here. Let's walk in here, y'all. One of my favorite parts of going in the garden is just going under this trellis. It's so awesome, guys. Right off the bat, guys, we're gonna walk right smack dab into the pepper box. On the back part of that little wall there, the trellis, it is 4 serranos, which are doing really, really well. And the 2 plants towards the front, them are reapers. This one especially is doing the best. I cannot believe how much this thing took off. Right next to the peppers, guys, is the 8-foot section. If you look on my channel, you'll see that I actually shortened these beds right where Lola's standing. Come here, girl. Thank you, baby. You see that little section right there? It used to come all the way out to that corner, but I made it a little bit smaller, easier to access. But these are all carrots. There's probably like 4 or 5 different varieties. I had a bunch of packets that all had a little bit left in the bottoms, and I just dumped them in there and figured, what the heck, we'll have a nice surprise when it's harvest time. They're not even close to being ready. Historically here in this particular property, I don't pick these things until like August. But the beans are doing incredible. They haven't really quite made it close to their trellis yet, but the tendrils are popping up and they're starting to want to climb up that TV. I remember last year I had them in the opposite side and it was just a gigantic ball of green. It was so awesome. I hope they do that again. And on the back wall, guys, Those are cucumbers. It's hard to believe, but there's 5 mature plants and 2 little seedlings that I did from seed in there, and it has just taken over. I'm so happy with these cucumbers. The 5 mature plants are actually pickling cucumbers, and then the 2 little guys, which are hard to see, but they're buried underneath there, I believe those are Wisconsin 55s. Sometimes I forget what I plant. I'm really bad at labeling, guys. But those are those tomatillos, guys. Those are 3 plants all together. I mean, it's spreading way over here, as you can see. It's just like a big, gigantic ball of tomatillos. It's unbelievable. These tomato plants are looking very, very healthy. Those are 2 Romas in the corner. There's a beef eater and a big boy, I think. That big boy is definitely a big boy. And that's some type of like grape cherry. Not exactly sure what variety that was. The package really wasn't clear, but that's doing all right. It's not as healthy as some of these other guys, but they're not bad. I've got 5 tomatoes here. That is plenty for me. I don't really can all that much tomatoes. I mostly do salsas with the tomatillos, and if I need extra tomatoes, I do have another garden. In the middle of this garden, guys, we do have our purple potatoes. Altogether, I've got 4 production boxes, and this was just something fun. This was just something I experimented with. Somebody gave me these, and I'm just trying to see how they turn out. They're supposed to have purple flesh and just be like super, super tasty. We'll see, guys. Before we head out of the garden though, let's take a quick look at what's left of the cilantro. I've already harvested this twice. There ain't much left on this thing. I am purposefully leaving all of those to go to seed. I want them to bolt. I'm gonna store some and simply just dump some right back into this barrel planter that I made. I really want that thing to have a fall crop too. And the dill, guys. Look on my channel, I do have a short as well as a video on TikTok about harvesting dill. I've got 2 full jars of that dill in the freezer, ready for pickle time, which may be sooner than I think. Yeah, buddy. Let's go ahead and walk out of this garden, guys, and go take a look at the side property. There is a lot going on over here, y'all. These are the potato boxes that grow just right on the other side of our porch. Let's take a closer look, y'all. These are going to be ready to dig up pretty soon. All the plants are pretty much dead. There's not much left going on in here. A lot of them pretty much just went to the wayside, as you can see there. They still got a little ways to go. I'm guessing that'll be late July. I do want to show you this though. Something's been digging up my taters, y'all. I don't know what it is. Could be a bird, could be a squirrel. Same thing in here though. They've really done a number in here. I'm gonna put some hot pepper in there, I think, later. And let's take a look at garlic bed number 2, y'all. This bed is also doing really, really well. Not as big of plants as the first bed, but these are also a little bit less mature. I imagine I'll be picking garlic before the next 2 weeks, but not this bed. I'm gonna leave this for last. And these are melons, guys. I foolishly planted both a cucumber and a melon, and one of them died, and I don't know which one it was. So this is either a cantaloupe or it's a watermelon. I just don't remember. But as soon as the first one starts to form, we'll find out, y'all. Let's keep going, guys. This is a brassica bed. Pretty much everything in this bed is doing extremely well, except for the onions. And there's just not enough sun. They're competing with these gigantic Brussels sprouts. Look at those things, they're huge. That Brussels sprout is also out of control. This is the pepper bed, y'all. The first half of this bed are all sweets and milds, and I can't even express to you how tall this is. I'm 5'8", and that thing comes up to my sternum. That's really tall, guys. They all have quite a bit of peppers. This guy's looking really good, y'all. He needs to turn a couple more colors, and that thing's going in my eggs. It's 3 jalapenos and then 4 of these insanely, ridiculously hot super chilies. And these are my comfrey plants. Those are 2 different strains. I did take a piece of that one on the right, move it to the left. It didn't make it. That little piece that's growing right there, that's actually a sterile variety that does not spread, which I thought would be handy for the yard here. These are my strawberries, guys. I will say that I wish I would have planted more everbearing and not just all June bearing. I'm actually going to add some hanging baskets that go on that back wall. I'm going to do 1, on each side here, and I'm gonna add some ever-bearing fruit. That way I can have a whole bunch in June, because man, I love me some homegrown strawberries. They're so much better than the grocery store. But this, y'all, is the absolute highlight of this section of the garden. This blackberry bramble, guys, has gone absolutely insane this year. This is my composting area, so please excuse the mess. It's always a work in progress back here. But as you can see, guys, I've trained a bunch of them blackberries to grow on that trellis, and they are just working their way around. It probably doesn't translate on camera, but there are hundreds, if not thousands, of berries on this thing. I'm facing the north right now with my camera, and so this berry bramble is facing the south, but believe it or not, there's an entire other section hanging over the other side of the fence, and there are hundreds of berries on those branches too. So my neighbors get some, I get some. It's a win-win, y'all. Let's keep going, guys. Guys, this is my goji berry wall. This thing is doing so well. This is on its 4th year. It started in the corner there with one plant, and it started to propagate itself out like it did it on its own, closer towards the sun, and I thought that was just brilliant. But it's filling up this wall. Last year we had a lot of goji berries. This year it's going to be probably 2 to 3 times that. I don't know if you can see how high this thing goes, but it's several feet well above the little trellis. In fact, it's even above that 6-foot fence behind it. I like this little area here though. My dogs like to run through here. It's like a little secret pathway. It's kind of spooky. Lola loves to run up and down this pathway. That little path leads to the hosta garden. I'm not going to go in there though. We're going to walk around. So there's the end of the goji berries. The hosta garden, it's got quite a variety of plants on it. It does really well. I don't do a whole lot with it. It finds its own way. And last but not least, guys, this is another hardy kiwi. My goal is to plant this on every available fence area I have. I want to get enough males to populate all the females. I'm super excited to try the fruit. I've actually never had it before. It's supposed to taste like a pineapple. And that's it, guys. Thank you for joining us on this little walk. Comment below on what was your favorite part of the garden. And make sure you subscribe so Lola and I can take you for another garden tour. We absolutely love it, and we can't wait to show off our plants. Ray out.